So here I was at the Fox News corner of the world early this morning, watching television, and who do I see? Not just diamond and silk, but a delicious bowl of banana pudding.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's something that my mother used to make, and so she handed it down. Now Silk make it, but when Silk make it, she make it without all of that sugar, like pouring the white sugar in it. We don't use that, and it's still sweet and it's still good.
That's right.
And where's my bowl of banana pudding?
They ate
I
it
think
all.
they must have ate it all.
They ate it all,
It
I
was
guess.
really, really good.
It was
this morning.
Deucey, wasn't it?
It was
Yes,
delicious. Yes.
He always eats all the food. My goodness. Well, congratulations, Cooking with Friends. You know, you've made it. You've made it at the network when you do the Cooking with Friends segment.
Oh, really?
So that's it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was phenomenal.
We just keep pinching ourselves to make sure we're not dreaming about any of this.
Right.
So it was just a fun day.
Yeah.
Well, I love banana pudding.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's now. Some people do their banana pudding hot. I like mine cold, but
You know what? Hot or room temperature for me.
Yeah.
To each his own, but it's still good.
It's sort
so
of like
good.
barbecue.
And you know
Yeah.
what? You
Right.
can eat it all year round. You don't have to eat that like pumpkin pie.
That's
you
right.
don't eat that in the fall, but you can
Yeah.
eat banana pudding all year round.
And for me, I'm all about combining the different ingredients that gives you the illusion of the sweetness so that you won't have to pour all of the extra sugar on top of everything.
You see, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because as a Southerner, we love our food.
Oh, yes.
And you have to pace yourself. It can get
Yes.
Herbs, spices, powders, especially whenever you're seasoning like the meat, you want to make sure that you're using the garlic powder, the onion powder, basil, different herbs and spices to give you that kick. Red pepper, cayenne pepper, something that gives it off, so that you won't have to pack it with salt. Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to eliminate, all of the salt.
And sugar, those things are not good for you.
Right.
No, they're not. And it's and just as a brief aside, we love in our family, we're big on collard greens, and so we stopped with the ham hock,
Yes.
and now we go with the turkey,
Yeah,
which is a little bit healthier.
exactly.
Yeah.
Tastes the same, too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
now,
right.
Diamond, now she make a mean pan or pot of collard greens.
Pot.
Yes.
Yes.
A mean
And that's
pot.
right. We had to get rid of the ham hocks, and we may use a turkey leg, turkey neck, or
Pot
something
liquor?
like that. Oh, all of it, yes.
All right.
Yes. Cornbread with that.
All right, welcome to
Yams.
Food Network Radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
when the cookbook comes out, you've got to come back on,
Oh,
and
my goodness. Yes.
we'll have a lot of fun. All right, we've got to talk about what's happening in the news.
Oh, yeah.
Samantha Bee made some really, really disgusting comments about Ivanka Trump. I want to get your reaction to what she said.
You know what? Samantha Bee, she needs to be fired. Listen, you're on a network and you're spewing that type of vulgarity, that type of language as if it's nothing.
Right.
For millions of people to hear this here, and you're talking about the first family, I'm sorry. There's no tolerance for that.
That's right.
They just took Roseanne's whole career and just
Flushed it down the drain. Yeah.
For a tweet. This girl is on national television. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she's spewing this type of hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Well, her last name is B, so it really matches her.
Well, there you go. That's a perfect.
I didn't know you was gonna throw that
We're
type of
keeping it
shade.
clean. We're keeping it
That's
clean.
right.
Keeping it clean.
We're keeping it family friendly here,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. So the White House weighed in. Sarah Sanders, I really like her.
I love her.
I mean, she really can handle the
yes, she
mainstream media.
can.
Yes.
Yes, she can.
Yeah.
She says the comments are vile and vicious, and she also said that the collective silence by the left and its media allies is appalling. What do you
It
think
is.
about that?
Oh, she's absolutely right. We always talk about this hypocrisy. Now, if somebody on the right would have said the same thing about somebody up under the Obama administration, all chains and fences would have broke loose. You would have demanded that their careers ended. But
Yeah.
now this lady says it, and everybody is silent.
Right.
Everybody is silent about it.
And the Obama administration is not even in the White House, and somebody said something about a former Obama administrator.
Right.
And look, her career is gone. When I look at the left, I look at the hypocrisy, okay, the divisiveness and the race baiting that goes on the left. And they want to cry out racism. This person is racist. That person is racist. But they have to check their own heart, check their own house.
Right.
Because I look at all of the racist, the derogatory remarks that black people send and post to Diamond and Silk. They call us monkeys. They call us coons and Uncle Toms and bootlickers. Okay? Just because we support our country and we support Americans and we support our president. That's a shame that they are able to do that. But then whenever a white person call another black person a monkey, now you want to call that person a racist. Well, what about yourself, black man?
Or the tweet that Roseanne tweeted out, it was directed towards a woman. So look at how Samantha Bee is directing this here towards a woman.
A woman.
Look at the hypocrisy. No, she shouldn't be on national television being able to spew that level of hate.
And then going back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Michelle Wolf.
Absolutely.
And what did they do? They honored her and rewarded her with the show.
That's exactly what they did, which was the hypocrisy. You got up there and you made fun of a woman. Everybody act like you were supposed to do that because she's a comedian. Well, Roseanne is a comedian too.
That's right.
And what Sick was talking about, we teach people how to treat us.
That's right.
And just hear me out when I say this here. So we have African Americans that call us those type of names. Monkeys, coons, Uncle Toms, jigaboos, all type of names like that, right? Well, when other groups see how black people treat black people, they may think it's okay. So I'm not taking up for Roseanne and what she did, but I'm just saying maybe she just didn't know that the word monkey, equating that to a black woman, was offensive, was now considered racism. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we teach people how to treat us. If you don't want people in the community shouldn't be calling you those same foul names.
Right.
You're going to be called out too. If you're black and you're doing it, you're going to be called out too. You don't have any right pointing a finger at a white person and saying, oh, look at them, they're racist because they said this here. Well, look at what you've said. So we got to call it all out. If we're going to talk about racism in this country, we need to talk about it clear across the board. Nobody have no business calling each other names like this. And this girl, Samantha Bee, I'm sorry. She need to be fired.
All right, folks, a chance for you to call in and join the conversation here with Diamond and Silk, 888-788-9910. That's 888-788-9910. I want to play for you some audio from a guy named Michael Eric Dyson. Here's what he had to say. And again, tying this all in, as much as they're going after black supporters of President Trump, the white supporters of President Trump have just been labeled, Klansmen who are white supremacists. Here's Eric Dyson.
Well, we got a bigot in chief and we got a racist in residence. That's what it is. He has unleashed some of the most horrendous viewpoints, bigotries, and racism in this country. He's legitimated them. He's validated them.
I want to get your reaction to that.
What is so bigoted about making sure that Americans come first? But you got to understand, this is the way the left operate. This is their talking points because they trying to win an election. Yeah. But you know what? This little house is coming down slowly but surely, brick by brick. We are undoing this here. You won't win another election by race baiting. And what they're doing is race baiting, and they trying to paint the president as he must be this here. Look at what he said. What did he say? He said he wanted to secure the border so that Americans can rise in this country, so that Americans can have more in this country, so that they can thrive in this country. He said he want to give us more money in our pockets. What's so racist about that?
You see
what I'm talking about?
And also in the same breath, why not let them know that the Democrats are the party of slavery,
That's
baby.
Right.
They didn't want slavery to end. They fought against slavery ending. They want it to extend and continue.
The Democrats, the party of slavery, the party of the Klan.
That's right.
The party of Robert Byrd.
That's right.
Listen to me. The Democratic Party, and let's say Democrats, the Democrats created the KKK. Nobody want to talk about that.
Right.
And if the Democratic Party was such a great party, then why is everybody on the Democrat side, they're always suffering. They're never thriving.
Yep.
It's always woe is me. So what would make us want to vote Democrat?
Why black folks still broke?
And that's the reason why you use the race card, because you know that they can pull minorities in. Minorities get scared when you say anything about racism, anything about the KKK. But this is the stuff that you created. You don't want to walk around here taking down the statues.
And when white people are accused of being racist, it shuts them up because they're terrified.
My heart hurts for that. My heart hurts for that because we were dealt, all of us was dealt the same hand when we got here.
That's right.
So, and I was saying this on the news the other day. You cannot point the finger because you're white and you said it, you're racist. Well, if you black and you said the same thing, then you're racist.
Yeah.
It's got to be even across the board.
And that's one thing that we were taught whenever we was on that Democrat plantation. We were taught that all Republicans are racist. And then we were taught that white people was racist. But we wasn't looking at the fact that we had white Democrats.
Right.
So would that make them? You see what I'm saying?
On that idea of leaving the plantation, Stanford University, they had a big rally out there, and a very brave young man stood up, and we have some great audio here. Let's take a listen.
I realize white liberals don't really care about me, bro.
That's correct.
I'm off the plantation, bro. I'm off the plantation, bro. I escaped the plantation, bro. I'm empowered. They don't want me to have power. They want to keep me dependent.
Listen, that was with Candace, and they were down there, and Charlie Kirk, they were down there at the university. I am so happy to see these millenniums. Their minds are opening up and they're waking up. And when we talk about the Democratic plantation, we're talking about the mindset. Because I'm hearing other conservatives upset because you're calling it a Democratic plantation. I'm sorry, it's a mindset. Anytime you see people want to take down the statues and try to erase our history, if you erase our history, you're doomed to repeat it.
That's
you see what I'm saying? So it's the mindset, and I'm so happy to see them opening up their minds. Oh, we can have better. We can be better. We can do better. But it's going to take people to pull them off. Start waking them up, awaken them. You know, people keep saying there's a revolution going on. Let me tell you when the revolution started. The revolution started back in 2015 when Diamond and Silk told people to get off that Democratic plantation.
That's right, baby.
Now what you're seeing is an evolution. You're seeing people evolve into something great. Oh, this place right here? Yeah, America's going to be great under President Donald J. Trump. Yes.
Well, look, ladies, we're going to have to leave it there, but it's been a lot of fun.
We can't do another segment.
What did you put in that banana pudding? That's what I want to know.
I get happy when I'm talking about the country and its president. I'm so happy.
Isn't it? I mean, the president. Well, we've got a couple more minutes, so we can. Our advertisers can hang on. There's something about this president, and I know the mainstream media is trying to focus on all this other stuff, but in reality, the average American is doing pretty good right now.
They're doing well. Yes. They're doing well, and I'm so excited. It makes me want to weep because we betted on Trump. We voted for him, and we voted right.
That's right.
He's not a career politician. He's a businessman. He's prosperous, and he wants the rest of America and Americans to be prosperous too.
And that young man at Stanford University, I think his generation, they have seen their older brothers and sisters who grew up in Obama's administration.
That's right.
They've got those advanced degrees, and they're sitting at home or working at Taco Bell.
That's right.
And
they don't like that.
They don't like it.
That's right. That's right. And now you got the businessman that created the atmosphere. You want to be an entrepreneur, you can.
That's
you
right.
want to have a good job, I done created $6 million. Go get you one. You can pick and choose now. Honey, yes, he's making this place great. I get happy when I talk about it.
DiamondandSilk.com is the website.
That's right. Go get your tickets for the Chit Chat tour. We're going to be in California. We believe we can flip it red.
That's right.
Well, you know, hold on. Whoa. Wait a second now. So Franklin Graham is in California right now. Diamond and Silk are going to be in California.
That's right.
In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be in California.
Wow. There's something going on. We believe we can flip California red. Listen, I don't want to hear people say what we can't do.
That's right.
With God, all things are possible. We believe we can flip it.
So vote right so you won't get left.
That's right.
I like it. And go to DiamondandSilk.com. Get yourself one of their. Oh, you guys have your own wine glasses.
Yes, baby.
And I like the bowl of stupid. We got to get some of this, John. We got to get some of this cool swag.
That's right.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of people doing stupid stuff.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right, Diamond, Silk. Thank you very much. Always great to have y'all with us.
Thank you.
We have a response now from Sarah Sanders that we're going to pull up because the White House has
so
responded.
She's making comments right now. She's given this statement to Fox News, by the way, in response to Samantha Bee's comments that we won't share. She says the language used by Samantha Bee last night is vile and vicious. The collective silence by the left and its media allies is appalling. Her disgusting comments and show are not fit for broadcast, and executives at Time Warner and TBS must demonstrate that such explicit profanity about female members of this administration will not be condoned on its network, says Sarah Sanders.
So that brings up the female component of this that I was just talking about. You have a thought bubble over your head, Melissa Francis.
Well, it feels like that moment in the Me Too movement where we were making everything equivalent. You know, I don't mean we, I mean where society was making all accusations true and all accusations equivalent, and it kind of reached that frenzy. And I don't agree with what she said. I do think it's horrible. I really don't think I've ever said that word out loud in my life because it makes me really uncomfortable. But that's kind of the tone of her show. And if you watch that show, that's kind of what you
know what you're
going to
get.
So don't watch it.
So if I was to watch Tosh.0 tonight on Comedy Central,
well, he says a lot of stuff.
Listen, but so was he next, and then the next comedian,
But
and the
isn't
next
there
comedian?
a difference, though, Melissa? She's
stop?
not just throwing this out there about about just any story. This is about the sitting president's daughter,
his senior
who
advisor.
also happens to be a mother with children who can read and see this at any point or hear this.
So should everyone on Twitter who called me in this word when I was in a public position have been fired from their job?
See,
can we at least, I feel like we need to do right now? We need to tell our audience, because if they want to Google this, they can. The word rhymes with hunt. I just feel like we need to. No, seriously.
I thought you were going to say C word.
We can do this.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right.
So, but it is a very specific word used against women, and that's why this is so, it is so toxic. But is it any more or less toxic than what Roseanne Barr said?
It all depends on where you sit,
which was egregious as well.
Exactly. It all depends on where you sit. It may actually offend a black person more than it offends me. It may offend a white person more than it offends a black person. All depends on your background.
I think it's a question.
Women more than men.
This word won't offend you necessarily in the same way that it offends women.
I agree with that.
And you know what Roseanne said about, Roseanne Barr said about a Muslim Brotherhood person and apes being together. That's offensive to blacks too, in a different way than it would be offensive to anybody else. All of it is. But the question is, if you wipe it away, you won't know who these people are.
And who gets to be the police to decide what's acceptable or not? And I worry that
but Pete, the point is those that Pete, the point is those that give those voices a platform may have to answer to their shareholders and B, their viewers.
Sure, absolutely.
And their own corporate value system, so on and so forth, which is what ABC News was talking about.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So TBS, how do they respond?
I have no idea.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know what they do in this case.
She should apologize, and then they should say, you know what, that was out of bounds, but she's a comedian, and if people want to keep watching the show, I think you're going for every scalp now.
Yeah,
every scalp, every time something happens, be fired. You say something, you're fired. Where does that end? And where does free speech go when you have to live inside a certain bandwidth?
The president this morning demanding an apology from Disney's CEO after the network canceled Roseanne Barr's hit show over her racist tweet about former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett. Disney CEO Robert Iger called Jarrett to apologize. So President Trump tweeted, Iger, where is my call of apology? You and ABC have offended millions of people, and they demand a response. How is Brian Ross doing? He tanked the market with an ABC lie, yet no apology. Double standard. ABC reporter Ross incorrectly said candidate Trump had told former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn to contact Russian officials before the election, and that sent the market into a tizzy. Media Buzz host Howard Kurtz joins me now. Howard, to be fair, ABC did issue an apology, but not to the president. So does he have a case here?
Well, first, I think President Trump missed an easy opportunity, a layup really, to criticize Roseanne's racist tweet. Could have just said it was unfortunate, regrettable, unacceptable. Even Roseanne is out there saying, don't defend me. What I did was unforgivable. And then move on to the beef with ABC and Disney. At the same time, got to say, the president makes some valid points. There is almost an anything goes atmosphere, and anything goes standard when it comes to some pretty fiery and ugly stuff aimed at him or his aides or his family.
Yeah, well, let's get to that. Samantha Bee, who's a comedian, has a show. She made a comment on her show about Ivanka that we absolutely cannot repeat here. It was that bad. So no apology for that? Is that another example of hypocrisy?
It's a shining example of viciousness, and Samantha Bee works for TBS, so this has nothing to do with Disney or Iger or ABC. But, she called the president's daughter the C word, the worst word in the English language that you can use to describe a woman. And why did she do this? Because Ivanka Trump had posted a picture of her with her young son. And there's this whole mentality in the press that, well, she has to get in there and stop the president's policies on immigration or whatever the social issue happens to be. And there's been no sort of uproar against TBS. Instead, it's been reported as, wow, did you see what Samantha Bee said? So the media's outrage against Roseanne, which is justified, kind of very selective, and then I'm not seeing it against Samantha Bee.
You know, presidents for decades have been the subject of jabs from late night hosts and criticism, of course. Maybe it's gotten worse. And does the president need thicker skin?
Well, you could argue that presidents should let some of this go, and yes, this has gone on for generations, but it has gotten far, far worse. So let's go through just quickly some of the examples with Disney. So we have, for example, ESPN, owned by Disney. Jamel Hill, the former co-host of SportsCenter, she called the president on Twitter a white supremacist, a bigot. Nothing happened to her. No wrist slap. Nothing. She got suspended later for going after the Dallas Cowboys, not for what she said about the president. Then you had Joy Behar on The View, an ABC show, mocking Vice President Pence's Christian faith. She did later apologize, but it had to be prodded into it. And then finally, Rick, you have Keith Olbermann, who has called President of the United States a Nazi, a traitor. Now, in fairness, he didn't do this on ESPN. He did this on videos and on Twitter. But ESPN just gave him an expanded role in a way that would be very hard to imagine if someone was spewing that kind of ugliness toward Barack Obama or somebody worked in the Obama White House.
Let's get back to the Roseanne situation real quick. Some think perhaps ABC acted too quickly, including the president, perhaps. Roseanne actually tweeted, "You guys make me feel like fighting back. I will examine all of my options carefully and get back to you." Does she have a shot at a comeback here?
Short answer, no. And she's been all over the map, spinning out on Twitter. Either she's apologizing or being defiant or self-flagellating. Maybe it depends on whether she's on the Ambien or not. But I do have to say, look, ABC, rather than letting this play out for a week and watch advertisers bail and then have to cancel the show, acted quickly because this wasn't an unforgivable racial slur against Valerie Jarrett. I liked Roseanne's show. I thought it was good that ABC put it on with a pro-Trump character, but ABC really didn't have any choice given the egregious nature of that particular tweet.
Howard Kurtz, I'm sure you will be talking about this and many other things on Sunday. You've got a lot of stuff on your plate. Thank you.
Rick.